Welcome to another episode and another video for you. So today's video is going to be really interesting. This is just an intro. I am going to be bringing on my girlfriend, Andrea, and she is going to be talking with me about a really cool topic, something that I think is really important, especially because my channel is all about empowering. So I really want to bring this kind of topic to light. And I think she's been, dealing with this type of stuff as well as I have in terms of how we deal with social media and Instagram, and does it empower us and does it make us feel what we thought it makes us feel? Whether it's the male's perspective and the female's perspective, which I'm going to start bringing on more of, which is the different types of gender perspectives, any type of perspective I'm willing to bring on. So anyways, on that note, I hope you enjoy it, and it's about 15 minutes, so yeah, sit back. You can watch it with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, with your whatever, and enjoy. Hey, welcome to another episode. Hope you guys liked the last one. But today we're going to talk about another interesting concept. This one's going to be about social media. Yeah. Insecurity, how we feel with it, or how the male's perspective, female perspective of the whole thing, how I digest it, how she digests it, how you react to it, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So, Andrea.
Yes.
Tell me.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. I just think, when I go on Instagram, it is just a trap for my insecurities.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm alone in this. I don't know if any of you out there can relate. But I can't tolerate it very well. I have to always take hiatuses from it.
Me too.
I have to go on and off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find that my explore page is almost always like women in bikinis with the most revealing photos.
I see them too.
And I get that like it's geared towards what you click most of, the algorithm, so I guess that's what I'm clicking.
Yeah.
But I see it all the time, and it's always on my feed. Right. And I try to, filter what I want to see, and somehow it just keeps popping up. And it seems to be everywhere now. Right. It seems to be so normalized, just women's bodies in the most revealing photos like possible, right. And no social backlash from that, right. And I just I'm like, okay, I tried to see the perspective of the women posting that, and I just say, okay, why are girls posting so much things like this? And I understood that posting shots like that make women feel super liberated, right. It makes them feel, especially if they've been sexually oppressed, it makes them feel kind of free, powerful, sexy, all those things. And the one word that I would notice a lot of women, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot would use would be empowered. Yeah. And at first I was kind of like, yeah, that's so empowering. I'd even say to Jen, don't you think if I've been going to the gym a lot in the past year, and I've had all these new gains, and my body's looked a way it's never looked before. And I was kind of like, maybe I want to post these things. Right. And I was like, Jay, maybe it'll empower me. Right. And then I really sat with that. And I asked myself, wait a minute. Who are these photos supposed to be empowering? Because I never felt any ounce of empowerment when I look at these photos, right? I would feel nothing but jealousy, insecurity. I look at my body in the mirror for hours and think, what's wrong with me? And I'm like, wait, is this just me? Am I the only one that feels this way, right? And then I look at the other side of the spectrum, guys who, were super sexually attracted to that photo. Yeah. I wonder if somebody were to look at the statistics of those photos, if you were to see who's clicking it the most and what's how much attention it's getting. And I bet the audiences are made up of guys that are sexually attracted, that are horny, and then insecure women. Because who else would be clicking those photos? Right. Who else are those photos appealing to? Right. And then I asked myself, because I started wanting to post photos like that. Yeah. And I was almost brainwashed into thinking, that's what it means to be a woman. That's what it means to be empowered. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I dove into that. And I was like, wait a minute. The only reasons I want to post photos like that are because maybe I want to get jealousy because photos in the past that I saw made me jealous. So I'm like, is that what empowerment means? Right. Maybe the girls that are posting these photos, maybe they've done the inner work. Maybe I'm the toxic one. Maybe they're they're at peace and they're posting these from a pure place. But something tells me not, especially when they're taking 1,000 photos, because that's what us girls do. We take 1,000. Hey, look through my camera roll.
I'm the person taking the photos sometimes.
And then you look through every single spec, and then some people on top of that will even choose to Facetune it or Photoshop it and things like that.
Yeah, we can't keep up with all these.
So that's empowerment, making other women jealous and insecure, and then making guys want you. That's empowerment. And then some people who are posting that may argue, and in defense, they may be saying, well, it's not my responsibility if I make you insecure. I should be able to do whatever I want. That's a you problem. And fair enough, I get that. But if you know that's the attention you're getting, like, why do it? What do you think about that?
Yeah, from the guy's perspective, it's really similar, but like in a weird way. There's just so many different angles of it. But the angles that we see as guys is like
perfect angles.
Yeah, perfect angles. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's unrealistic. It's not actually real. Like, when I actually seen some of these videos on Instagram of some of these girls that showed like what I look like when I pose and then what I look like when I'm not posing.
It's
I'm
totally
like,
different.
When I saw that, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, my girlfriend looks better than this girl anyways. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, you know what I mean? And this is before she started working out and doing all these things for herself. I'm like, bro, like, and then now I'm almost like this like investigator now where when I see it, she shows me a photo of like a girl and these, oh, why does this girl have such a nice whatever? I'm like, wait a minute.
What is she's doing this angle? She's wearing these leggings. She's doing this. And it's the game. And I get it. It's a skill, though. It's a skill. I'm not knocking the hustle.
It is
the women that decide to do this, especially, I notice the biggest maybe defense line they'd say is like, that's what sells. Sex sells. Yeah. And we are not coming here and shaming anybody that chooses to do that.
Nope.
We're not saying we're better. Yeah. We're just kind of maybe opening the discussion and seeing, okay, why are women doing this? Why are we accepting this as women? Right. Why is this normalized? And
at the end of the day, you felt like shit.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I did not feel empowered.
That's all
I felt the opposite from empowerment.
Yeah.
And I highly, highly doubt the women that are posting that truly feel empowered. Right. If anything, maybe they get a surge of confidence and a surge of ego boost. But really, empowerment, is that the word we should be using?
Depends on the likes, though.
It depends on the likes, yeah.
What if you don't get any likes on that photo? Do you feel empowered? So is your empowerment dependent on people's approval?
Ooh, that's a good question to ask. And it's a good question to ask yourself.
And are the photos, even when you're making them for the guys, for example, are you doing it so that, like we talked about women empowerment, this new movement of women, not new, it's not new at all, but women empowerment movement, like if we're doing it to empower women and men are still winning.
Yeah, like men are still getting these photos where you're super, because that's another argument I've heard a lot of women that are on that side say is, well, why should I be covering up my body for guys? Why should I care about judgment? It's like, well, the guys want you
most guys don't want you to wear no cover up. We just want to show it all. I find it absolutely crazy the type of angles girls are showing these days and the type of leggings people
everything.
Wear. Even if guys wore those, I'm not talking about girls only. If guys started wearing leggings like that and they're pulling them up and I see their fucking... I see their junk and stuff, I'm gonna be like, homeboy, we don't want to see that. Even as a guy, I don't want to see all the girls honestly think that it's just a more really attractive thing to show more. It's actually showing less. I'm telling you from a good guy's perspective. I consider myself a good guy.
Yeah.
I have a good head on my shoulders. I honestly, the more mystery it is, the more kind of attractive it is. To be honest with you, that's just my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody's like
that. And then like another thing I wanted to bring up too. Is like the whole concept of sex selling and women buying into the idea that you need to be beautiful to be heard, that you need to be sexy to be valid, that you need to be gorgeous to sell more things or to get your business noticed. Like that is a very male-infused philosophy, is it not? The concept of being sexy to be heard. Right. You know what I mean? But the fact that the same women that preach, oh, I'm a feminist, I'm this, also believe and post photos like that, believing that they do need to be sexy to be heard. So there's just this like, at least be consistent here. No shame to anybody that chooses to post pictures like that. It's just maybe just hiding behind the terms empowerment or whatever it may be, or quotes. Just be honest, be genuine. If you want attention, if you're proud of your body and you want to show that off, say it. Right. And make it clear that's what you're doing. But trying to make other women, or I don't even know, whatever, who feel good. Yeah. It's just, I think it's deceptive. And I think women, we need to start looking at this and really, even if we're the ones posting that, maybe this video can help you really look into it and think like I did, and get introspective and think, okay, like, well, why do I want to do this? What is really am I doing this because somebody else is doing this? Am I doing this because like I said, you've done all the inner work and you really are pure on the inside and you just want to post it? Or do you have some ill intentions? Do you want to make people jealous? Or do you want to make, your ex or somebody like that see you and be jealous or whatever it may be?
Yeah. But that path will never lead you towards true happiness. True happiness is a deeper level of like, because our looks always change. Yeah. Our bodies will change as well. And as we age, we're so dependent on the way that we look and the way that we...
Yeah, aging is like the scariest thing for women. And it's like, at what point are we going to, still want things injected into our face? And I don't know, I just... I used to want that, and now it's like, I just don't see the point in it anymore. I don't see how that makes me feel any better. Because like you said a while ago, you're like, that stuff dissolves.
Absolutely.
Along with the happy feelings that you get when you do get those temporary lip injections and things like that. But I don't know.
One big thing from a guy's perspective, it's like one thing we're not talking about right here a lot is if women are injecting their butts with this fat and all this stuff. Imagine, sorry, but imagine like I was injecting my arms with synthol and showing my bicep clearly, dramatically bigger than everything else in my body. And we see these people in Brazil that do that. It's so ridiculous when we see it.
Yeah.
But somehow we think that when we see a woman with this huge butt and then all of a sudden these like thinner legs, it's like the brain knows right off the hop. It's like, wait, what is that?
See, that type of body type I think is only glamorized on social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. That's true.
In everyday life, you rarely see people who have, unless you're living in LA.
Yeah, that's true. We never see that here.
No. But I guess the main point of this is the whole concept of like this Instagram, I guess, detoxing and taking a step back and I don't know, like taking a break from Instagram. I don't even know if that's the right thing to do. I don't know if it's like a dieting thing because, you know, for example, I've had phases of my life where I've cut Instagram out for, let's just say, a 3-month span, get on it, and right when I get on it, I'm right back to the same, you know, clicking and staring, and it's like,
well, it's the same as an alcoholic that like
like somebody dieting.
They start drinking again, right off the hop, they're right back into the old wagon or whatever.
Exactly, or somebody trying to lose weight, they do a cleansing diet, and then, you know, they get off of it, and boom, they're right back into it. So I really think it's about that. It is, and it's about that inner work and really, you know, diving in deep and really figuring, okay, like what do I need to feel confident and secure? And sometimes it does need to be taking a break. For me, I still have a lot of that inner work to do. So I do need to take, you know, out of sight, out of mind. I need to get it out of my life.
Yeah, for me, I listened to what Tim Ferriss said the other day when he was talking about how you should like maybe not have the app on your phone so accessible, just make it through your internet browser. So you have to like go through a filter or go through some form of barrier just so you don't have to go right into the app. But make things a little bit harder to access because if we know these things are drugs, then we have to almost treat them as such.
Yeah, of course. And I think that like we all can agree, I don't think this is a new thing to say, but Instagram is not real. Like we know that. Like even with like all this like fake woke stuff you see now and even people hiding behind, you know, intelligence or seeming like their spirituality.
Yeah, they care all the time.
They care, and it's like we all know like a lot of this is for show.
Right.
So why are we on it still? Like, why are we all still subjecting ourselves to this? Why do we still follow famous people? Yeah. I'm not saying boycott all this and cancel like all of that. I'm just saying like, why do we still participate in that race when we know damn well this is not real?
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know. And I think another piece of advice, like what Jay was saying, the Tim Ferriss thing, like creating that extra barricade so that you don't, you know, what was it? The putting on airplane mode?
Oh yeah, putting your phone on airplane mode and only using the apps or social media for like an hour a day, designated a certain time of day. And that's for a lot of people, by the way, impossible.
Yeah.
For most people, it's like they have to be scrolling. It's like, then ask yourself, why is your whole day and your confidence and everything you do dependent on what other people are doing or what you're looking at or are scrolling? Like that's not good for the brain. The dopamine releases and all these things that are happening. It's like, how are you gonna like mimic that in real life?
No. Another important thing too is like what helped me kind of take a step back too is really monitoring and having that self-awareness of seeing how you feel after you use it.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Especially because I would go on like 3-hour binges, 2-hour binges, scrolling, and I would just, you know, take my time afterwards and think like, do I feel positive or do I feel negative? Very logical, simple things. Yeah. And every single time it was negative, it was never positive, and I feel like your brain really needs logic sometimes. And if you can tally up all the times you've used something and you don't feel good, it can really help you to push you, okay, I need to delete this. Totally. Especially if you've never ever deleted it before. I mean, you might as well try it. If you are somebody like me who binges on and off, then you got to really start diving into the more harder and deeper work, I think. But if you've never tried it, I mean, hey, I think that you'll be a lot happier.
Well, look at this month, for example. This month, the Muslims are fasting for Ramadan, right? They're supposed to fast from the things that you're so addicted to. Well, I mean, there's clearly a benefit to doing stuff like that. So, but we never look at social media as one of those things that we need to fast from, right? So it's the same thing. It's like it's a form of consumption, right? So you got to be careful what you're listening to a lot, what you're watching a lot of. You know, whether it's like to a lot of guys, Instagram is softcore porn. It really is to a lot of guys. You know, bro, if you have an addiction towards that, like a sexual addiction or a PRN addiction, then that shit is like toxic for you. Just like it is if you're insecure about how you look, that shit's toxic for you.
Yeah. Right? And like we said earlier on, those two people, the insecure ones and the guys that are horny, I'm guaranteeing you those are the biggest audiences for the revealing sexy photos. So, you know, I just want to
snaky market people that want to like just profit, so they use your body and use your like sell your soul to kind of sell their product. It's like, man, I don't want to sell my soul to sell this product. I want my body to be
we shouldn't want to. And like I said, women, we don't need to be beautiful to be heard. We don't need to show our asses to, you know, get the likes. Like, sure, maybe that's what it is, but like if we just all agreed that that's not what we wanted, I don't know.
Now you're seeing boys doing this whole biting their lip and like that whole thing. I'm like, bruh, I'm so glad I'm not young right now, to be honest with you, because I wouldn't be able to handle TikTok, Instagram, none of this stuff. Because I was like, you know, I wanted to flex and show people validation. But when you find out what that is, you can go on a little bit deeper level and find that your confidence isn't dependent on just the surface. Yeah,
and sometimes people find it more, like I've always found guys, like on the guy perspective, if you are a guy and wanting to kind of post promiscuous things like that, I personally, I don't know if other girls can relate, I've always find a guy that doesn't really use Instagram way more attractive. Like something about that, like somebody that's just kind of like elusive. He doesn't really, he's, you know, good looking, but doesn't need to like show off. Like something about that is just like kind of irresistible.
And guys think, honestly, like me, I think the same thing about girls. When I see a girl that's constantly taking selfies, I don't know if she's trying to do that for her friends or whatever, but like for guys, like guys don't care.
If guys don't care, girls don't care, nobody else cares. Then what are you doing it for? And I think that was the main message of this video is like, what's the point? And just want to reiterate one more time, like we are not coming down on anybody. This is not to, if you are somebody that posts that kind of stuff, this is not to come down on you. Do your thing. I respect the hustle if you're doing that for your business.
But we're just doing our thing
by being honest too. And hopefully maybe somebody hears this and they need to hear this message.
At the end of the day, if you're feeling like shit, if it made you feel like shit, if it made me feel like shit, I'm not going to use it. And we want to tell people, hey, we're honest enough and open enough to even have this conversation and maybe even get some backlash from it. Who cares? But there's some people that need to hear it.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
So anyways, love you guys. Thanks for watching. Love you.
Love you.
Social media, that's our episode for today. Discuss with us and some really cool stuff coming for you. Tons more.
I hope you guys liked it.
Peace.